Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, I'm going to be using my laser, Ortur Master 2 Pro, to cut out some shapes from basswood and plywood. Check out the video. Just let's get one thing straight, guys. I consider myself as an absolute beginner when it comes to lasers, okay? And the only thing I was using this laser for mainly is engraving. And for that machine works absolutely fantastic. Now, I had an attempt of cutting out the 2mm basswood, and that was no issues. Today, I want to show you how you can achieve that with this laser. Plus, I'm actually going to try to cut something out of this 4mm plywood. We'll see how that's going to go, if my workshop will go up in flames. On top of that, in today's video, I want to share with you a product that has been sent to me free of charge from madethebest.com a while ago, probably about 2 months ago. Now, you know, there's no script to it, guys. There's nothing at all, as always on my channel. Send it to me, have a look, see what you think. And I actually found the box just recently in my mess, and I thought to myself, let's check it out and see what it does. Now, this honeycomb plate is actually used mainly as a base when you actually are cutting something out on your laser. So it will be interesting to see if there will be any difference with using the base when I'm going to be cutting stuff out and without it. So we'll see if it's actually worth picking one up. Now let's have a look what's in the box, because to be fair, I've not even unpacked it yet. Let's have a look. Okay, so obviously we do have some instructions. It is fairly neatly packaged. Okay, we've got this nice aluminium base. Ooh, okay, that looks quite fancy, doesn't it? Check this out. Okay, so it's aluminium honeycomb inside. You've got the scales on each side apart from the top. That's the make, Dewallie, I think. Not sure how to pronounce that correctly, but that's what it is. On the other side, there's no markings. But yeah, it seems to be actually quite nice, sturdy. Now this one is the smallest one. It's 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters, and you also do have an option to get a bigger one that actually fits perfectly to the Master Ortur 2 Pro, which is I think something about 40 by 40. So that would actually cover the whole base for the Ortur Master 2 Pro. However, you know, they've been a cheapskate and sent me a smaller version. Right, okay, let's have a look how it all works. First of all, we're gonna go for the 2mm basswood. We're gonna try to cut out the shape in that with the honeycomb base under the laser. As you can see, the honeycomb base is already there, so I'm just gonna place this. I'm gonna center my laser so it's in the right spot, just like so. I'm gonna close the enclosure. If you are actually interested in this laser, the laser I've got, and the enclosure and everything, I've got 2 videos covering that. I'm gonna leave some links to those in the description of this video so you can go and have a look. It's definitely not the cheapest setup. However, it's very beginner friendly, and I have to say it's just ever so easy to use. So for me, it's definitely a great tool. Okay, look at that. No burn marks on the front, on the start either. However, on the other side, you do have slight burn marks. Not massive, but they are there. On this as well. Okay, but let's do the same test without the base. Just put a piece of plywood as a base. Okay, let's set this piece up. So let's have a look how that came out. I'm just going to turn off the fan because the noise will be slightly too much. Bit of a surprise here, guys. Exactly the same settings, everything was the same, but it actually did not manage to burn through. So just like that, I hope you can see that. Nothing on the other side. Guys, I have just noticed my mistake. Could be a reason why the star was not cut without the base. I did not align the laser. Now, I don't have any more of these, unfortunately. I've more or less used them all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this one upside down. I'm going to set up the laser and we'll see if it's going to be able to cut it through without the base, okay? So let's fix my boo-boo here, guys, and see if it actually does cut through without the base. And if it does, what is the quality of it? As always, I forgot to turn on the back fan. That is definitely one of the downsides of this enclosure, where the fan at the back does not switch on automatically as the laser starts. And yeah, I usually forget to turn on that fan on. However, when the fan is on, it actually does work fantastically. Right, so as you can see, it managed to cut it through correctly, no issues at all. And from the front, definitely I can't see any burn marks, anything like that, so that's great. On the other side, I know it's going to be difficult to see because we already made a mark. However, I'm just going to try to show you this bit up close. If you can see this burn marks, this haze around the edges, same on here, okay, that wasn't there before. So that was created by the laser and not having the honeycomb base. And I'm going to show you the one that we did without again. So this is the one that we had done with the base, and as you can see, there is no haze around this. Few burn marks here and there, but there is definitely no major haze. So slightly better performance with the aluminium honeycomb base, but at the minute I don't think it's that big. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to use my 4mm plywood to see if the laser will be able to actually cut it through and what quality we'll manage to achieve. The first test will be without the honeycomb base, okay? The same shape, and we'll see what results we're going to get. Just need to change the settings, as this is thicker, that's about 4mm in thickness. So I'm just going to change the settings and off we go. Okay, so the laser has just finished working, and let's have a look if it actually managed to cut through. As you can see, it's a nice clean laser mark, no burns. And on the other side, you do get that haze. I hope you can see that haze around the cut. This is definitely a mark, but let's have a look if it will pop out. Yes, look at that. Hey, that's not too bad. 4mm cut with no issues. But as I say, hope you're going to be able to see this, the like haze, burn haze around it. But all in all, that's actually quite good. I think if I've done it in one more pass, I probably could get away with 6mm plywood with no issues at all. So that's quite good. And now for the final test, I'm going to use the honeycomb base to see if we're going to be able to get rid of that haze on the back. Right then, everything seems all right. Let's close the enclosure, switch on the fan, and off we go. Right, so the laser just pinged, that is done. I'm going to switch off the fan at the back and let's have a look what we've got. From the front, again, as you've seen before, perfect lines, no burn marks, no anything. Let's have a look at the back, and you can clearly see there is no overburn around it at all. Nice and crisp edge. Let's pop this out This is the one that we done first without the honeycomb base, and this is with the base. Okay, obviously I'll swap it over so you can, you know, see both sides, and you can see the difference from the front. There is no difference, you know, the marks are not there. However, from the back you can clearly see on the one without the base that you've got this overburn haze, whereas on the one with the base there's absolutely nothing. Okay, let's give this laser a little bit more to do. Let's have a look how it's going to cope with this. Right, and let's have a look how it did with that. Looks pretty cool to me. Let's see if it's gonna pop out. Well, it's definitely did a job. We've got an 8. Okay, I'm gonna pop the rest out now. Well, check this out. Came out absolutely brilliant. And that's 4mm plywood. No issues at all in a single pass. Before I was starting this video, I wasn't quite sure how that aluminium honeycomb base will actually work, how it will help when you're actually trying to cut some materials out. And you can clearly see it is increasing the quality of the material you are cutting, especially from the back of the material. There is no afterburn haze, or it's greatly reduced. Now, if you want to buy something like this, the honeycomb base, by all means, it seems to be working, but just get a bigger one. Okay, the tiny one I've got, you know, it's fine for tiny things, but you're not going to be making single things. A laser like this can batch out a whole project. You know, got 40 by 40 centimeters, and there is a honeycomb base that is 40 by 40. So definitely, if you want to pick one up, get the bigger one. It will be far better for you. However, you will still get really decent results without the base either, and you need to think to yourself if it's worth actually buying. You can make something very similar from different materials, and you know, it hopefully will still work as good. Now, this is designed for it. It is made from special materials to distribute the heat, and obviously not to burn or cause any harmful you know, fumes getting out of it as the laser hits it. So yes, it is designed for this specific task, and it's doing its job by the looks of things. But most importantly, the laser itself can easily cut through plywood that was 4mm, but with an extra pass, or maybe even with the same pass, 6mm should not be an issue for this laser. And that is the thing that I'm really happy about, as it will open a spectrum for some new projects for me, and some easy sells on Etsy as well. So yes, really pleased with the results of the laser. For a beginner like me, I was able to master the really simple shape here, but yeah, looking into future, it looks pretty bright with this laser, guys. It definitely does the job. Now, I had a few requests from some of you guys that were watching my videos about this laser to actually showcase what other products, what other materials it can engrave, and that is still to come. So we're going to cover some plastics, perspex, tiles, metal and all that, leather as well. I will be covering all those materials in a future video, as it would be just a little bit too long for this one. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing so you won't miss all that content in the future. Now, if you are interested in this product, I will drop a link down below in the description of this video. Then go and have a look. The results are there, they're noticeable. However, if they are, you know, worth it to you, that all depends. If you are batching a lot of products with your laser, cutting a lot of shapes out, then I think it's a worth investment, as it will raise the quality of your products or maybe reduce the amount of sanding you need to do. So from that perspective, if you're doing that, that's definitely a good thing. And for me personally, if I find I'm going to be using a lot of this to cut materials out, I will definitely buy the larger version of this, as that's the whole thing about it, to be able to batch out as many items as you can. And you know, the more you can do, the more you can sell, the more money you can earn. Simple as that, isn't it? However, for today, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop me that like button down below. And yeah, till next time, take care.